Your screen. This one right here. All right, you see it?
Yes.
All right, let's try some of these practice questions. All right, number one, the area of a circle is 64 pi. What is the circumference of the circle? How are we going to do that one? You remember the formulas? The area formula and the circumference formula? Area of a circle, do you remember?
Yeah.
Area formula is pi r squared, and the circumference formula is 2 pi r, 2r pi, sorry. Or that's the same thing as, what's 2 diameter the same thing as? If you multiply the sorry, I think I said diameter. If you multiply the radius by 2, what do you get?
The diameter.
Diameter, right? So it's the same thing as diameter times pi. All right. So they give us the area is 64. So just replace that 64 pi here. Okay. So if the area is 64 pi, and that's the same thing as this part right here, pi r squared. So how do we solve for r here? Sixty-four pi equals pi r squared. How do we solve for r? What could we do to both sides?
Um, Divide by pi.
Yep, if we divide by pi, that'll cancel and that'll cancel, right? So then we have r squared equals 64. So if we take the root of both sides, what would r work out to be? R would equal 8, right? Okay, so if your radius is 8, take this radius equals 8 and plug it into right here, into right there. So what would the circumference be? 2 times 8 times pi. 2 times 8 times pi. What's the answer there?
16 pi.
16 pi. There you go, right? So just make a note of this formula, area of a circle, and make a note of this circumference formula. 2 pi r, or pi times d. Same thing, right? All right. I want 16 pi. Okay, number two. Which of the following values of x for x and y satisfy the following system of equations? So they're basically saying, what's the solution to this? How are we going to do that one? So you can solve it any way you want. Solve it any of the three ways: substitution, elimination, or graphing. So which way do you want to solve it? You remember elimination, substitution?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for elimination, all you have to do is match up the coefficients, right? Coefficient there is 1, coefficient there is 4, coefficient there is 5, coefficient there is 10. So we're trying to match up the coefficients, right? This is equation 1, this is equation 2. So what can we do to equation 1 so it looks like equation 2?
Multiply it by -5.
Okay, so what's the new equation 1? If we multiply by -5.
-5x
Yep,
minus 21.
good. Equals -50, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one, just rewrite the second one. 5x plus 10y equals 20. All right, now are you going to add or subtract?
Add.
Add, yep. So these two will cancel out, right? What's -20y plus 10y?
-10y.
Negative 10y equals, and then what's negative 50 plus 20?
Negative 30.
Negative 30. So what's y?
3.
Yep. So y equals 3, right? So it can't be that one. It can't be that one. Can't be that one. It's probably this one, right? And then you take the y equals 3 and you substitute it into 1 or 2 to find the x, right? All right, so that's good. All right, that's 2. 3. If a does not equal 0 and 6b equals 5a root 3, then what is the value of 2b root 3 over 4a? How do we do that one? So 2b root 3 over 4a. All right, what's b? B is this right here, or 6b equals this right here. So what should I write here? So if 6b equals this, what is b? B equals what? Two b root 3 over 4a. See right here? See right here, 6b equals this. So just divide both sides by 6. 5 over 6a root 3. Get it? All we're doing is solving for b because we want to substitute it into right there. Okay. All right, if we plug this whole thing into right here, what do we get? Just substitute it in. 2 times 5a root 3 all over 6. 2 times b. This part is b right here. The whole thing is b. Then you multiply that by root 3 all over 4a. So what's this whole thing simplified? What's 2 times 5,
10.
right? And then what's root 3 times root 3?
9.
It's root 9, right? Root 9. And then what's root 9?
3.
Right? So root x times root x is just x. Okay. All right. So where were we? 2 times 5 times 3 is what?
30.
10 times 3 is 30. So we have 30a over 6 over 4a, right? What's that simplified? That's the same thing. What's this simplified?
5a.
5a over 4a. What's 5a over 4a? The a's will cancel, right? 5 over 4. Okay. So this idea is just substitute the value of b into this equation and then simplify. Okay. All right. Number 4. Okay, you do 4. You write 4. All right. 4. If a gas tank can hold 25 gallons, how many gallons does it contain when it's 2/5 full? How are we going to do that one? So what do we do with the 25?
Divided by 5.
Divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5, right?
Yes.
Okay, then what?
Multiply that by 2, so it would be 10.
Yes, exactly. Yep. You could do it like this too, right? Just multiply the 2 over 5 times by 25. 2 times 25 is what?
50,
Divided by 5 is what?
10.
Yeah, same way. Same idea, right? Or similar idea. All right, 5. In the XY plane, the point 4, 3 and 3, 2 are on the line. On the line A, which of the following equations of lines is parallel to A? You remember the slope formula? These are your 2 points. X1, X2, Y1. Oh, sorry, X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So how can we find the slope if we have those 2 points?
X1 minus X2, then Y1 minus Y2.
Sort of, yeah. Just remember which one's on top, which one's on the bottom.
Y1 minus Y2 is on top.
Yeah,
Right.
Y2 minus Y1 on top over X2 minus X1 on the bottom. So what's Y2?
2,
So what's 2 minus 3?
-1.
Okay, so that's the top, -1. And now what's 3 minus 4?
1. -1.
Okay, so what's the fraction?
That's 1.
Yeah, -1 over -1 is 1, right? So what's the slope?
X.
Well, the slope is
Yeah.
the slope is 1, right? The slope is 1. So it has to be parallel. A line that's parallel to A would be what would the slope be if the slope of the first line is 1? What's the slope of the second line?
-1. 1.
But it'll be the same if they're parallel lines have the same slope, right? So if the slope on this is 1, the slope on this has to be 1. On the second line has to be 1, which is this one. What's the slope on this one?
3.
Yep. What's the slope on this one?
X over 2.
It's not X. It'll just be a number, right? It'll just be like this. Remember, how can we rewrite this? We can rewrite this like that, right? X over 2 is the same thing as this, right? It's just written differently. So what's the slope on this one?
1/2.
Half. So the slope on this one is half, okay? What's the slope on this one? 2. What's the slope on this one?
1.
So it's D, right? They have to have the same slope. So 5D. All right, 6. Following graph, which of the data point is farthest from the line of best fit, which is not shown? So what does this line of best fit mean? The line of best fit just means like a line that roughly represents all the data points. So it'd be something like this, right? Roughly. So which data point is farthest from that line?
6, 1.
6, 1, yep. A. All right, 7. What's 7?
Read the question.
Yeah.
A football team won exactly 80% of the games they played during the last season. Which of the following could be the total number of games the team played last season?
Okay. So which one makes sense? Now you either win or lose a game, right? You can't win or lose half a game, or you can't win or lose 3/4 of a game, right? They have to be whole numbers, right? So which one of these is the best? Or which one makes sense? they won 80% of the games. Which of the following could be the total number of games they played last year? So what's 80% as a fraction?
80 over 100.
Okay, and reduce that to the lowest terms. 80 over 100 is the same thing as what? 4 over 5, right? Just divide both by 20. So if you take your 4 over 5 and you multiply by 49, what is that? What's that answer? Is it a whole number?
No,
What number does this come out to?
39.2.
39 point what?
2.
0.2. So like I said, right, you can't lose or win or lose 0.2 of a game. So this answer right here has to be a whole number. So which one? Which one makes the best sense? Take your 4 over 5 and multiply by all these numbers. It's probably D. If you take your 4 over 5 and multiply by 32, what do we get? No, it's let me see here.
Is it B?
Is it B? 35. If we take what's 35 times 4 over 5? I might be wrong. No, it might be that one.
28.
This is 28. Okay, so oops. So if this is 28, it's not this one. That's 39 to 12 times. What's 80% of 12? 4 over 5 times 12 is what? 48 over 5?
9.6.
9.6. So it can't be that one. Can't be this one. What was this one? What was this one? 4 over 5 times 32.
25.6.
Okay, 20. So you're right. Okay, so the answer has to be a whole number, right? So B. All right. All right, that was 7. 8. If x is greater than 0 and less than 1, which is true? Which of the following is true? So x is between, so you've got 0 here, x in the middle, and then 1 here, right? So that means x is between 0 and 1. Which of the following is true? X is the smallest, this is the second smallest, this is the biggest. That's A. B, X is the smallest, this right here is the second smallest, and this is the biggest. So give me a number between 0 and 1. Let's test it out.
0.5.
All right, so 0.5, so half, right?
Yeah.
So if this is half, what's this? What's half squared? Plus 1. So what's this one, in other words? What's this whole thing? Take your half squared, add 1, and take the root of that. This one would be root 5 over 4. What's this one? 1 over 4, or 1 over 2 squared, which is 1 over 4. The root of 1 over 4 is 1 over 2. 1 over 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So this is half here. This is 1.5. What's this as a decimal here? What's root 5 over 4 as a decimal?
1.25.
1.25. Okay. So is half less than 1.25, which is less than 1.5? Is that true? Is this true?
No.
Yeah, it's true. Half is the smallest. 1.25 is the second smallest, and then 1.5 is the biggest. All right, let's try. Well, that's true, right? Let's try B. What's B? X is half. There's your half. Is that less? Oh, this one's the same as this one, right? This one was 3/2. Is and then this one was 1.25, right? So that one's not true. What about this one? This one was what? This is 1.25. Less than this one was half, and this one was 1.5. Is that true? 1.5 is less than half is less than 1.5? No, that's not true. So it's not B, not C. What about D? This is what, 1.5? Less than, well, this one's already doesn't make sense because that's half, right? So it looks like it's A. Okay. So these questions like this, just try an example, like stick in a number like we stuck in half, and then try each case. Okay, so A makes sense. What about 9? What does this mean right here? Directionally proportional. What does that mean?
Um, the same?
So 3 and 3 are the same, right? 5 and 5 are the same. Okay, that's one. Okay, it's similar to being the same, but tell me like in words what you mean, or explain a little bit better. Are these numbers directionally proportional? If this is X and this is Y, are these numbers proportional? 6, 10, 14. Are those numbers proportional?
Yes,
Why?
because they're multiple of each other.
Yeah, all I'm doing is taking this number and multiplying it by 2, right? Does it have to be 2 here? Does that number have to be 2?
No,
What number can it be?
any number?
Any number, any number. So though that's proportional. If you take that first number and multiply by any number, the same number in each case, that's what it means to be directly proportional. So they're basically multiples of each other. If x is directly proportional to the square of y, so x is okay, so there's your x, there's your square y. Okay, if x is directly proportional to the square of y and y equals 2 when x equals 12. Okay, so let's like make a little chart here. So you've got x and y. What goes here? What number should we fill here? Look what it says right here. When and y equals 2, x is 12. So y is 2, x is 12. Then what does it say? Then when x equals 75y, x equals 75y, what does y equal? So what's this one right here? All right, I forgot one actually. I forgot one. Okay, so we're saying that if x is directly proportional to the square of y, so we're going to write it like this. Y is 2 when x is 12. Then when x equals 75, x is 75, we want to know this number right here. but they also tell us that they're proportional. If x is directly proportional to the square of y, and y equals 2 when x equals 12, then when x equals 75, y equals what? So how do we do this one? X is directly proportional to the root of y. So if we look at this equation right here, x is proportional to the root of y. This is the root of y right here. So how do we work backwards? What's the square root of this number? All right, let's do it like this. Let's add one more column. That's y. And then you've got if x is directly proportional to the square of y. Sorry, I'm read that wrong. Square of y. X is directly proportional to the square of y. So this one's y squared. We're adding another one, another column. So what's y squared here? What's this number right here?
4.
Okay, so how is this number, how are these two related? How is this number related to this number?
4 times 3 equals 12.
Okay, so the factor is 3, right? We're multiplying by 3. So same idea here. This number that goes here would be, we would take this number and multiply by 3 to get this number, right? So what number multiplied by 3 is this number?
25.
Okay, so if that's 25, what's this?
5.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. 5. So this one. Okay. So you just take this and multiply by 3 to get this number. Okay. So you're just multiplying by 3. So that's what this part means right here. Directly proportional. They're just multiples of each other. All right, 9, 10. All right, 10, try 10. Jack earns.
Jack earned $616 for his first 22 hours of work in a week and is then paid 1.5 times his regular hourly rate for any additional hours. This week, Jack needs $826 to pay his rent, bills, and other expenses. How many hours must he work to make enough money this
Okay, so he's getting paid 616 for 44 hours. So what should we do first?
week? Divide
Divide what? Yep, divide what?
616 by 44.
Well, what would that give us?
How much he makes in an hour?
Exactly. So what's this division? How much does it work out to be?
14.
Okay, so if he's making $14 per hour, so let's see here. Jack earns for the first in a week and then is paid 1.5 times his regular hourly rate for any additional. This week he needs to earn 826. So if he's making $14 per hour for the first 44 hours, then he's getting overtime or 1.5 times. How many hours? So which one of these? So let's do like this. Okay, so we've got hourly rate or dollars per hour here, and we've got rate here. Or no, this will be hours right here. So this will be hours right here, hours. So he's making $14 per hour for hours 1 to 44, right? Now, after the 44, so the 45th hour and onwards, what's his rate? What's his new rate? He's making $14 per hour between hours 1 and 44. Hours 45 plus, what's his hourly?
21.
21, good. Okay, so now we have to use this in order we use this and the 826. So how do we do that? It'll be 14 times 44 plus what? 21 times what? All right, let me do it down here. 14 times 44 hours plus his hourly rate of 21 times, this will be X right here, right? Equals what?
826.
26. So what's this part right here?
616.
616 plus 21x equals 826. So 21x equals how much? 826 minus 616.
210.
210. Okay. Now x is what? 10?
Yes.
Okay, so how many hours does he have to work?
54 hours.
54. Yep. It's really the 44 plus the 10, right? 54. I do some payroll at work and it's something just like this. All right, that was 10, right? Okay, so that's all. That's it. Any questions on that stuff?
No.
So here are the answers right here. So we got what we got? We got the 16 pi. We got where's the 3? 3 or negative 2, 3, right? On 2. We got 5/4, we got 10. We got D, slope of 1. 6, 1, farthest from the line of best fit. So remember that one question, we just took 80% and multiplied by each number. So there's your whole number right there. Yeah, for 8, remember it was A, that half question. So yeah, they actually picked the same number, right? Half. Which one was this? Y equals 5, that square root number. Or that square question. So and then here's on this last question, we did 44 plus 10, 54. Okay. All right, let's you don't have any Khan Academy questions or textbook questions you want to go over?
No.
You're studying a little bit every day, right? Every couple of days?
Yes.
All right. That's how you get good, right? Just study a few questions, maybe 10 questions a day. Okay, let's see if they got a test. All right, maybe let's actually let's go let's check let's check Khan Academy. Khan Academy PSAT. Let's practice. See what this is. All right, where's the test? Okay, let's see here. No, we think we tried some of these before. Let's see. Practice test 2. We might have done some of these before. All right, let's start some of these word problems. 16 to 18. All right, let's try these word problems. 16. High school developed.
A high school developed a program called Propel, which offers extra guidance and support during the ninth grade year. Before the school year began, 327 rising ninth graders were selected at random to participate in the study. 109 of those students were randomly assigned to enroll in the Propel program, and the remaining students served as a control group. A summary of the year-end grade point averages for the 327 ninth grade students below who were chosen for the study is shown in the table below.
Okay. Then it gives you the chart, right? Your GPA 3 or greater, less than 3, enrolled in Propel, not enrolled in Propel. So when we add these four numbers, we should get the 327. All right. Okay, so what's the question? 16. If a ninth grade student at the high school is chosen at random, which of the following is closest to the probability that the student will have a GPA of 3 or greater? How do we do that? Which of the following is the closest probability the student will have a GPA of 3 or greater? So what numbers are we using?
You have the students that have a GPA of 3 or greater,
Okay, which numbers do I add?
61 and 95.
Okay, so what's the denominator?
The total number of students.
Yep, which should be 327. And what percentage is that? That's what? 156 over 327?
48.
48. All right. Uh, 17. What is the difference to the nearest whole point between the percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had 3 or greater and percentage of students not enrolled in Propel who had a GPA of 3 or greater? What is that? How do we do that one?
So it would be 61 over 327.
Um,
Right?
which one? This one? Oh, to the nearest whole point between the percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had 3 or greater. So what's that one? Enrolled in Propel who had 3 or greater. So what was that one? That would be 61 over what? What would the denominator be?
156.
Where are you getting the 156 from? You adding these two?
Yes.
Percentage of students enrolled in Propel who had a 3.0 or greater, and percentage of students not enrolled. The denominator on this one would be 109. It'll be the 61 over these two numbers added together. That's this part, right? Difference is subtraction, right? So it'll be 61 over 109 minus, and the percentage of students not enrolled in Propel who had 3 or greater, which is this number right here, minus 95 over, what's the denominator here?
218.
Yes, 218. So what is that as, what's that as well, 109 goes into 218, right? So we can multiply this one by 2. So we have a common denominator, right? If we multiply the top and bottom by 2, we'll have what? 95. What's 61 times 2?
122.
122. So what's 122 minus 95?
27.
And then what's this as a percentage? Or 8%? No, 12%? About 12%, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, so that one. So the idea on this first part, percentage of students enrolled in Propel, that will be, it won't be all the 327, it'll just be those two, the sum together. So what I'm saying is this would be 109. Not all the students, just the ones that enrolled in Propel. Okay. All right, 18. right, what's 18? Oops. Of the students, okay, so read 18 for me while I erase this.
Of the students enrolled in the Propel program, the ratio of boys to girls is approximately 2 to 3. Which of the following is the best estimate of the numbers of the girls enrolled in the program?
Okay, so ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 3 or 2 over 3, right? 2 over 3 equals boys to girls. Which of the following is the best estimate for estimate of the number of girls enrolled in the program in the Propel program? So how do we do that? So of the students enrolled in Propel, how many total students enrolled in Propel?
109.
109. Of the students enrolled in Propel, the ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 3. Which of the following is the best estimate for the number of girls enrolled in the program? So what's the ratios that we set up? What ratio here? What ratio here? 2 over 3 for boys to girls. And then what's this one? No, actually, let's do it like this. No, you tell me, what ratios do we set up? Boys to girls is 2 over 3, right? But we want the total number. So they want what? Which one do they want? They want the ratio of boys. Oh, girls. They want girls. Okay, so what's the girls to total ratio? What is that fraction? What's that ratio? Girls to total.
3
Yep.
over
Over.
5.
Exactly. So 60% of the 60% of the total are girls, right? So girls over total, 3 over 5. What's this ratio? Girls over total. Use the same thing. Girls over total. What's the girls here? What's the total here? This would be X, right? That's what we're trying to find, the number of girls. And the total would be 109 people in the program. So how do we solve that? Just cross multiply, right? 5 times X is 5X. What's 3 times 109? 3,
327.
327. And then so X would be 327 over 5, which is what? Did we do that right? What's 327 divided by 5? 61. No, what is that?
65.
65, 65. Okay. You can't have part of a girl, right? It has to be a whole number. So 65. So on this type of question, just make sure you read everything carefully and then set up the right ratios. Everything is based off those ratios. Okay. 8, that was 18, 18, 19. All right, take 5 minutes or 7 minutes or so and do 19. All right, take 5 minutes and do 19 and 21. Then me and you will do 20 together. Okay. Try 19 and 21 in the next 5 minutes. Okay. Let me go on mute. All right, try 19 and 21. Okay. Do you understand 19 and 21?
I don't understand 19.
19. All right, just draw a little diagram and then set up a diagram. Can you write on the screen? It should be in that box where your name is. Let's see here. Do you see annotate?
Well, I can write it.
You can write? All right. Just draw a little diagram for 19 and label it. Okay, for 19, what does the equilateral triangle mean? Equilateral triangle, what is that?
All the sides are the same length.
Yep, so that means that this, and this are the same thing, same length. Okay, so one rod is formed into a share of a shape of a square, and the other rod is in the shape of an equilateral triangle. If each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square, so that. So use some algebra. So which one's longer? Um, each side of the triangle is okay. So we'll say this is x, and this is x plus two. X plus two, x plus two. Okay, and then we know that each side of a square is the same thing. So those are all x's. Okay. If each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square, how long in inches is each rod? Okay, so how do we do this then? What's the equation? What's the perimeter on this one? How do you find perimeter again?
It'd be x plus x plus x.
Which is what? Yeah, which is what?
4x,
Or x, and what's the perimeter on the triangle?
3x
Yep. Plus
plus 2.
plus six. 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? Okay, so these should be equal. These two are equal. So 3x plus 6 equals 4x. What is x there? X is what, 6 there? Yes. Okay, so that's not one of the answers. All right, let's see if we wrote the right equation. Uh, Artist creating a sculpture using bendable metal rods of equal length. One rod is formed into the shape of a square, the other a triangle, equilateral triangle. If each side of the triangle is 2 inches longer than each side of the square, how long in inches is each rod? What did we do wrong there? What did we do wrong? Or what's your idea? What do you think? This one, the parameters are right. Um, if we equate them to each other, we get x equals 6. That's not one of the answers, though. Or let's just try some of these answers. What's if we plug in one of those answers? If we like test these answers, how can we do it? Just each rod. Instead of perimeter, how about we try area? Let's try area instead of P. All right, what's the area on this one? What's the area on this one, on the square? Length times width?
2x.
Not 2x, but it'd be x times x, which is x squared, right? What's the area on the triangle? Half base times height. Do we have the height? We don't have the height, actually. No, that won't work. Actually, we could calculate the height, but I don't think it would be that difficult. It won't be, actually, we would have to calculate this distance, the height, right down the middle like that. We could, we could do that, but let's try another idea. How else do we do this? Um, all right, let's come back to that one. Let's think about that one, come back to that one. What about 21? Do we know how to do 21? Draw a diagram for 21. Yep. Landscaper is designing a rectangular fountain with a 4-foot wide path around it. So where's the 4 feet?
So it's 4 feet.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's 4 there. Yep. The equation A equals 4P plus 64 will relate the area A in square feet of the path to the perimeter P in feet of the mountain. Okay, so of the fountain. So what does that mean? The equation A equals 4P plus 64 will relate the area to the perimeter. In the design, how many feet will the perimeter of the fountain increase for each additional square foot of the pass area? Okay, so what does that mean? We have to set up a ratio. So this right here, the equation A equals that relates the area and the perimeter of the fountain. So let's set it up like this. Equation A equals, so 4P plus 64, which is the area, over what numbers on the bottom? Perimeter of the fountain. What's the perimeter of the fountain? Equation A will relate the area in square feet of the path to the perimeter P in feet of the fountain. In the design, how many feet will the perimeter of the fountain increase for each additional square foot of path's area? Okay, so now we have to put the path's area here. So what's the path's area? What's basically this area? What's that area? How do we calculate the area of the whole thing? What's the area of the total? So what's this part? Length times width. Or this is the length. Length times width. What's that? What's the total area? Area of this path right here is equation will relate the area A in square feet of the path to the perimeter in feet of the fountain. So what number goes here? What number goes here? What number goes here? The equation A equals will relate area in square feet of the path to the perimeter in feet of the fountain. So what's the perimeter of the fountain? Here's the fountain, right? What's the perimeter there? Will relate the area in square feet of the area A in square feet of the path. This is the area of the path, right? A equals 4P plus 64. And remember that area equals length times width. Area equals length times width. So if this is the area, what should go right here? We will relate the area in square feet of the path to the perimeter in feet of the fountain. This on the bottom here would be the perimeter of the fountain. And then we would set up the same thing here, the same ratio here. As in the design, how many feet will the perimeter of the fountain increase, which is the bottom here, for each additional square foot of path area? So if you were to add one here, so 4P plus 65, you add one there, then this would be X. This number here would be path to the perimeter in feet of the fountain. What would this area of the fountain here be? It'll be the total area minus the area of the shaded region. That would be the area of the fountain. So the idea of this question, like once you find this area, you'd cross multiply and then see what it asks right here. In the design, how many feet of the perimeter will the fountain increase for each additional square foot? Then you kind of like, you simplify here, and then you'd get one of these answers. I'm guessing it would be either like this one or this one. It wouldn't increase that much. It wouldn't increase that little. But if I had to guess, like you wouldn't take 10 minutes to do this one question, right? If you didn't know how to do it, you just simply guess the best answer, right? I'd guess one of those two. All right. So this week, just continue practicing your textbook and the Khan Academy questions. Next week we'll go over, and yeah, we'll do the same thing next week. We'll just go over any questions that you have, and then some of these more practice questions. Okay.
Okay.
Just go on YouTube. Just go on YouTube and watch some of the videos and follow along. Right.
Okay.
You're gonna say something?
I have something like all weekend next week.
Okay.
I can reschedule to another day, but I just can't do it Saturday.
Okay. Okay. You want maybe one day during the week?
I don't know. I could maybe do